Good morning and welcome to the XM.com weekly market update. And joining me again is Peter McGuire, the CEO of XM. Good morning, Pete.
Good morning, Andrew.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
China.
Where do you want to start?
Well, we touched on it last week. There was a few numbers out last week, which weren't great numbers, but yesterday they lowered their prime rate, which was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere in a lot of ways.
Yeah, but it's certainly needed considering the economy's not flash.
No.
The property we've spoken about many times under a huge amount of pressure, youth unemployment, which doesn't really get reported any longer, but it's a big number.
Massive number.
So the government's really trying to
Stimulate
prime the
growth,
economy.
Prime the economy with that lower rate. We'll have to see how it moves and whether you're going to see any growth as far as consumption internally and what impact that has to naturally their equity markets.
And particularly the other markets, Australia as well, because Australia is so reliant on the Chinese economy. So
100%.
But looking at the equity markets there, this is a one-year chart. So both of them are down around 6% for the year, for 1 year, sorry.
Yes.
But compare that to like the Nikkei, the US markets, even the ASX, which are all
Germany, UK.
Positive numbers. It's not great numbers.
No, it's not. And that since that Lunar New Year, we thought that it had bounced as far as the CSI 300. It peaked around about 4,200 a year on a go, and then it's just cratered ever since. It's still sitting and languishing at 3,500. So as anyone's looking for a break out there, you want to see growth across their equities.
Which is not coming.
No.
UK CPI number came out. It's pretty much on target.
Yep.
Is that enough for a rate cut in the coming months?
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't think it's going to happen in the summer. I think it'll be probably September, Andrew, and that's where, the market, everyone's got an opinion on it. We've just got to see how it all factors in. I was interested to hear Chief Economist Hugh Peel of the Bank of England, Hugh Peel, I should say, and, his comments. So, just let's sit through it. The pound is still, in a lot of ways, nothing out of a breakout. I mean, it bumps along up a bit, crashes through 130 and then all of a sudden retreats again. So we've just got to see, again, this interest rate perspective and naturally what happens to currencies.
And I think the wording of that, the BOE, how they come out to sort of what their intentions are going to be.
Yeah. Well, they're worried about inflation in a lot of ways. That's still incredibly sticky.
Yes. Over to the US, obviously, we're in the thick of earnings seasons now. The first tech companies coming out tonight.
Alphabet tomorrow morning after the
bell.
Yeah,
Alphabet, Tesla come out. Visa, I think Coke come out as well. So the big names are starting to roll out after the banks. Interestingly, though, the Russell 2000, which has struggled over the last couple of years, year to date, up 10%. So we're just starting to see
breakouts,
the breadth of that equity rally broadening a bit, which is a good thing.
Absolutely, as we've said, wash across. And we mentioned a couple of weeks ago, go away and do your homework, traders, and study that Russell 2000. And thanks for putting that up, Andrew, because that really demonstrates there's nothing better than looking at a graph and going, oh, it's gone sideways. No, it's really, ratcheted up, and it's been a nice rally really since Christmas. It dipped under there, hit 1900 late Jan, and then boom. So you can't argue with that sort of growth.
No, and particularly when you look, that's 2,000 companies that index.
Yes,
which is a really big cross section of that.
American market. I just want to make point on that. Let's not kid ourselves. But when you're looking at that in mid-January, you're down at 1900. I know that's the low, but you've had a point there of the 2230, 2240. That's an enormous rally in just over 6.5, probably 6 months.
It's a positive sign, that's for sure. So looking at the Magnificent Seven, this is just the PE ratio. Obviously, Tesla is...
it's expensive.
It is.
For what you get.
Well, that's right. And considering it's been the worst performer out of a lot of them as well.
Yeah, when you look at the numbers and you see the composite index, the grey one there, third from the bottom, and then you look at something like the might of Alphabet and Meta and, Apple, and then NVIDIA. Well, that's been the star. This is double as far as PE. NVIDIA is sitting at the best part of 40 times, and then you've got, 85, I suppose, for Tesla.
I know, big number.
It is a big number.
Yeah, and just looking at their year-to-date performance, so obviously NVIDIA is the standout, which we all know, but Tesla is the worst of the lot. It's actually slightly down for the year. So which puts that PE ratio even a more stark contrast as saying, wow.
Well, it's recovered. If you're looking at Tesla, it's certainly recovered from that, Anzac Day sort of April 25 sort of target, and it's gone shooting right back up, but it's still only broken even.
Yes.
It's been it's been a great stock to trade from a short perspective, while everything else has been long. If you looked at your charts from a technical standpoint, it's been a standout because that's what traders are after, movement, and it hasn't disappointed.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting over the next sort of couple of weeks what these earnings bring us.
Well, NASDAQ performance, you're looking at last week and you're going, wow, it's taken a bang, 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 hit. And then all of a sudden it's come back last night. And I thought it was a nice little rally to the upside. So yeah, I want to see because this is where it gets to the real meat and potatoes. You've had your financials report, as you said. Now you're coming to the absolute powerhouses, and we've got to see whether their earnings and what they were like in the last quarter.
Yeah, and particularly some of that growth, it's got to get backed up by the earnings.
That's the only thing. Yes. Someone's got to buy your product.
Yeah, but that sort of the sell-off last week, obviously not unexpected because the market was so hot anyway. So, and you look at, I think the video was down like something like 13% or something last week.
Yes.
Over the course of the year, it's up 130%. So it's almost like, what does it matter?
Giving up a little bit of hot air.
So plenty going on, plenty of numbers coming out this week. Bank of Canada potentially dropping rates again?
I think so, yeah. There's every chance of that, and it'll be impacting as far as the loonie or the currency, that is, Canadian dollar, US dollar, Andrew, and the stock indexes. Inflation's still relatively sticky, but, it's working in the right direction. And then unemployment's high at 6%, 6.5%. So it certainly must be quite recessionary there, and the impact that has, again, to youth unemployment. I don't think Trudeau's going to be around for that much longer. I can't see him being re-elected, but...
You wouldn't think so, would you?
No, you certainly wouldn't. And leading to a political stage, I mean, since we spoke last week, you've had a lot of info come out, and you've had the likes of Biden stepping away. The party is yet to endorse Kamala. Does she get endorsed? Who sits as vice president? Is that going to be Hillary? Everyone's saying it's going to be. So there comes that. So... and there are rumblings out there, Barack Obama can return as a VP choice because in the Constitution it allows that to happen.
Wow.
Because he's not elected, he would be selected.
Wow, interesting. Oh, keep an eye on all that. And obviously in the US, we've got GDP and PCE.
I think GDP is going to, if you're looking at the Atlanta Fed numbers, they were fairly bullish. You've got other forecasters saying it's not going to be as bullish. Let's see how the numbers drop, and let's see the impact of the markets.
Sure, we'll keep an eye on that and touch on that next week.
I look forward to it.
Great, thanks, Pete.
Thank you, Andrew.
And that's the XM.com weekly market update.